All right, welcome back to, I think this is episode 5 of Flashaholics Anonymous. Um, I kicked around, I really kicked around the topic of this one for a little while, and so pricing and budget was the last episode that we did. And when we talk about pricing and budget, there is a key factor for pricing and budget. And we talked about a lot of things. We talked about, staying within your budget. We talked about like not buying every single flashlight out there and just enjoying the journey. Yes, that is something you hear all the time. It is super lame. I swear I know exactly what you're thinking. Like, well, I just want all the flashlight. I know. But remember, as far as the series goes, we are starting off at kind of like the basics. So the beginning of this series is definitely tailored more to people that are either getting into the hobby, thinking about getting into the hobby, or just got into the hobby. So yeah, if you've been an EDC holic, EDC nut, we're not going to put a holic after everything. If you've been an EDC nut for years and years and years, and you buy a bunch of flashlights, these few beginning episodes are probably just filler for you to listen to, like while you're driving to work. But if you're getting into the hobby, or you are new, or you were just looking for information, this is more tailored to you. So, referring back, pricing and budget and all that good stuff from the last episode. I I have a term that I picked up from MC, that I cannot remember exactly the way he puts it, but I said it in the last episode, and it goes something to the effect of "you won't until you will." And that's every time I hear that, it really cracks me up because it is so true. And that's what's going to bring us into today's topic is I think I'm just going to name this the it factor. So that is the determining thing for flashlights for people. So everything has an it factor, and that's also a super generic term. And not a lot of people, not a lot of people are like, no. So let's talk about it. I've got a few flashlights here on the table, and some of these are flashlights that I never really planned on owning, but for me, they have an it factor. And one of the very first things that got me into semi-custom flashlights is this guy right here. This is the Lumentop LM10. And this is by far one of my favorite flashlights. So for me, obviously one of the very, very first it factors on this guy was the copper. So if it's copper, generally I'll buy it. That's my it factor. But it wasn't the only factor. Knowing that this was a semi-custom, I knew that I could do some pretty wild and out stuff with it. So I added like the glow tubes. I did not do tritium on these. This is glow tubes. I did these myself with the UV resin epoxy stuff. There's some on the back, but if we go to the front, we have new optics in there. We have sapphire glass. I also had Jackson Lee over at JL Hawaii. That is also a modified optic that's in there that has glow tubes added to it. I actually did a video on me modding this flashlight. Light modding. I'm definitely not a big modder, but that was oh god, I feel like whew. Okay, I'm good. Brain is still intact. So that was one of the big it factors for me for this. And this flashlight right here, right before I bought that was right about the time where I was like, about $100 is probably going to be my limit. And I've spent well over that on that flashlight alone. So some it factors for people. It's going to be different for everybody, but if that's where it gets so weird is because so some people are like, oh yeah, anything in orange or anything in OD green or any. So it's such a vast market. So the it factor, it's kind of what's going to make you I mean, honestly, it's what's going to make you spring on your first expensive flashlight. So like this, the Javelot. To be honest, I really had never, ever gave 2 cents about, the LEPs, elite flashlights. And, I don't know. I watched a video and I watched somebody with one of these and it looked like a freaking lightsaber while they were outside. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. I would never have a use for that in my entire life. I want it. And that was an it factor. And I dropped the money on this flashlight because it had that one little thing. And yeah, I have used this a total of like twice just to show friends, and that is literally it. Period. And that is quit rolling, quit. Listen to me. Listen. I own you. So, going back to like this one, we did a review on this light. This is so much overkill. Like this is so much of an overkill light. This is a custom. This is an MSR. And I ordered this from Jackson Lee as well. And when you order these, you can kind of make them to order from his website. Did I need this? No. I've got a dozen, if not more, UV flashlights, and I absolutely did not need an over $100 on a UV flashlight. I mean, God, I've got a flashlight right here, my dark beam I keep on my desk. I've got this is like less than $10. And I mean, it's really realistically, it's going to do the job for me because I'm never outside with a. I mean, I guess I do take UV flash, but I'm not outside like geode hunting, or I don't really have to worry about scorpions a whole lot. And this is a UV thrower. Like, I can feel the heat coming off of this light on my hand. And yeah, this is a super, super intense UV flashlight. And it's got the UV filter on it, which is awesome. But it's a custom UV flashlight. And on this one, I was like, a UV thrower? That's freaking cool. I need it. And that was an it factor. And so kind of what this is boiling down to, we're gonna try not to spend half an hour on this video. I'm trying to keep track of the timer. So this is kind of like a part two to the last week's episode, because I feel like I didn't touch on that a whole lot, but there's gonna be a reason for this. So it factor for me again right here, and I'm giving you demonstrations of it factors for me because, like I said, this video is supposed to be tailored to people that are either new into the world or are just wanting to get into it. So here is the FW21 Pro. This is made by Lumentop. It is absolutely one of the best companies out there for flashlights. Mainstream, custom, all that stuff. They kind of do all of it, and they have price points all over the place. So I'm not affiliated with Lumentop, so I'm not advertising to you. I'm just telling you they are awesome, and I love them. So this flashlight right here, this bad boy, this is one of my absolute favorite lights. So looking at this guy, he takes a I believe it was a 21700. Yes, indeed. So there is your 21700. I don't know if it can go higher with this little. If I take this out, if I can put a bigger battery in there, I don't know. It also comes with another attachment for in there, so you can load 18650s in it. So that's pretty cool. But so this guy is copper, so we already know. I love it. I love smelling like pennies. And the big thing about this, the it factor, the wow factor, that's 10,000 lumens right there. And this thing is, I mean, the head of this is a monster. It's bigger than the Javelot head by, well, maybe not. I felt like it is. Maybe it's just because it goes farther down. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a slower taper. But this thing had it factors all over the place for me, and this is another one that kind of got me started into the more premium-ish game. And yeah, so you'll talk to people, and there's companies out there like Okluma and a bunch of other ones. I forget what the other. I'll probably remember it here in a second, but it starts with an A. I feel like the mini are. They're USA made custom flashlights that I mean, realistically, to me, they don't have the it factor, but they're like $500 for the. Is it the Arkham? No, what is that? I can't remember what it is. I think Taylor Martin sells them on his website. But that flashlight doesn't necessarily do it for me because it doesn't really have a it factor. It doesn't fall into any of my it factors. The Okluma, the DC0, will I will have one of those. I will absolutely have one of those. But going on to the next one, this is nothing fancy at all. This is a Tucson flashlight. It has 3 modes. It is not bright. Well, I mean, it's relatively bright. It's got a really pretty emitter on it. But this was copper and titanium. Now, the Warrior 3S, a lot of people own this. This is a really good mix of flood and throw. This is very tactical. This is, someone who picks up one of these is looking for a pretty tactical flashlight. That's probably an it factor on there. You have the Baton 3 Pro Max, right? Yeah, Pro Max. Baton 3 Pro Max. This thing's made out of magnesium. That's literally the only reason why I bought this one. To begin with, I've grown to love this light. You can see he's got a boo-boo because he's been dropped while being carried. I don't know if it's the magnesium or what, but the magnet on the back of mine sucks. That's the reason why it fell. So this magnesium was the reason why I bought that. Here you go. Here's another copper flashlight. This is literally one of my all-time favorites as far as like AA flashlights go. That's the Raylight Pineapple. That's a semi-custom. This is an i5R from Olight. I have 1.5 million i5Rs. I kind of collect them, but this was one of the ones that got me into collecting them. This is the Periwinkle, the crystallized titanium. This flashlight's awesome. I mean, so your it factor. So I have things that I look for now, but I didn't whenever I first started. Whenever I first got into this, I just bought every flashlight Olight dropped, or I just bought everything I saw that I watched a video on, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I should check that out. And I was just buying, which I don't regret it. I don't think I'd change a thing. But if I'd have known then what I know now, and I'd done the research, and I knew kind of, and I'm like, oh man, that is awesome. That I really could use, or that I really, really like. And some of these things like this is something I bought before, when I was just buying things because I wanted to check them out. And I still do that. I still jump around, and I still buy a bunch of flashlights and a bunch of knives and stuff that I want to check out. I have a handful of knives just sitting right here next to me. They're just new knives. But as far as like your wow factor, your it factor, your one specific thing that you're looking for, that will expand. And that's all based on knowledge, and that's all based on experience, and that's all based on a ton of things. Really, really a ton of things. Like some people, their it factor is, I want as many lumens packed into the tiniest package I can possibly get. I want it ant sized. And that would be pretty dope. But that's the thing for them. So, those couple things that you think that you want, or that that you need, or that you know what I'm saying? Like those couple of things that you do, that you use your flashlights for, or that you like, you're going to change. Trust me, you're going to. I almost cringe when I buy flashlights nowadays that are cool white, that have the bluish white color emitter that comes out of here. See this color? This blue, this blue, the blue that's on all of these flashlights, that 6500K or higher, you know what I'm saying? Like that color of the temperature of your light. That was one of the things. That's one of my things now is I will 100%, absolutely 9,000% of the time, if I am buying a flashlight and I have an option to buy it in warm white or neutral white, that will 100% be the color that I purchased. And I have a ton of flashlights in cool white, and it's because I was just buying. And I since I had bought so many in cool white, I didn't realize what I was missing. My taste has evolved. I've jumped out of boxed wine and I've gone into nice vintage bottled wine. And that's kind of the way it works, you know. That's an it factor for me now is, okay, what emitter does this have? Oh, this has Initia 219B. Oh, done. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff changes a lot, a whole lot. I still buy every single flashlight I come across that's copper, because that is my biggest it factor. If it's copper, I'll buy it. I want it. But outside of that, now my other it factors are, what's the emitter, what's the temperature, so it evolves. So don't just go out there and buy, and you can do that. But I urge you to not buy the same thing over and over and over again. Try new things. If you're not going to listen to advice, my advice, which is okay. I'm definitely not the foremost authority on flashlights, but if you are not going to listen to that advice and you are going to continue to just, or just get into the hobby and just kind of buy a little bit of everything, buy different emitters, and don't buy all Olight. Don't buy all Lumentop. Branch out, because all these companies have a lot of really cool, features, and you will find you will find those little things that really just rev your engine, that you're just like, ooh, I need that. Like, ooh, I didn't know I needed that. Like, okay, let's go back just one step. This is not a flashlight, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about, the XOK that Dan sent me, or the XOM. XOM? Yeah, the XOM that I bought. So I grabbed the trainer. See, I told you, I always go for the trainer. I'm so used to grabbing the dang trainer. I love the trainer. It's such a good fidget toy. Okay, yeah, so XOM, gravity knives. That's an it factor for me. And if you ask some people, they're going to say gravity knives are the dumbest thing and the most dangerous thing, and they kind of are. But some people are going to tell you that gravity knives are stupid. Gravity knives have a massive it factor on me, and I will buy every single one I get the option to. If I could buy the original XO off of somebody, if they were to offer it to me, I would be just about the happiest person in the world. I missed the drop. They did a restock and did a drop again, and I freaking missed it. And I sulked for like 2 days before my wife asked me what was wrong, and I told her, and she just laughed. So I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. So I'm the same way with flashlights too. And some other stupid things. Like, I was upset that I did not get a chance to buy the copper shed. I know it sounds weird. It's actually made of brass, right? The Olight, it was not a multi-tool. It was a pry bar. It was called the copper shed, but I think it was made out of brass, if I remember right. I don't quote me. You don't have to correct me. I'll probably double check right after this video. But yeah, so I sulked about that. I was really upset because by the time I was able to buy, because I only get 1 or 2 day, or I think I get 1 day early access. It might be 2. I don't remember. I'm about to be diamond, I think. I can't remember. I don't know. My buying from Olight has slowed down a lot since they started sending me free stuff. So now I can't get my freaking thing up there, my rewards. So yeah, okay, getting off topic. This is turning into a banter and a rant. So let's circle back to the same thing I've been saying this whole entire video is, your taste will evolve. The things you look for will evolve. It will change. You will change. You will come to appreciate things you did not appreciate before. And it's okay. but don't break your budget before you find out. Just trust me. I'm not one to sell gear. I don't sell my gear. I hoard it. I keep every single bit of it. And dang it, if I don't have so many flashlights in there that I'm like, why did I buy this? Like I have so many i5s that are just like the smallest little change that I could sell them all and probably buy a $1,000 knife, you know what? So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like I put all this money into buying all these flashlights. I bought them all up, and I could have bought one of my Grail lights, or 2 or 3 or 4. And I don't even care that much for these lights that I bought, because I didn't know what things were going to trigger me, what things were going to be like, ooh, you know. Now I sit here and I look in my freaking flashlight cabinet, and I'm like, it looks so pretty with all these flashlights, but if I just sold 80% of these, I could buy so many customs. Yeah, you will buy customs. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. I am inevitable. Customs are inevitable. If you're in the flashlight world, you will. One day you will. I promise. You are going to buy a super overpriced UV flashlight, or, you know, okay, I shouldn't say overpriced. These MSRs are absolutely gorgeous and amazing. But for me, it's overpriced because I bought it, I played with it, and it's been in the cabinet forever. So probably since I did the review video on it, it's probably been in there since then. So you see what I'm saying? Slow down, slow your roll, just slow it down. I'm not telling you to do research. I'm really not. I'm just saying I would be checking my USPS, the app, the informed delivery. I would be checking it every day, because I would have pretty much at all times like 5 or 6 packages on the way. I mean, gosh, you guys remember I was turning out videos like some of them, sometimes it was a couple videos a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of just all new stuff that I was buying. Yeah. I don't regret it. but if I could have changed my thinking from back then, I definitely would have just slowed down just a little bit, because I found out the things that I really, really like. I found out what my it factors are, and I'm still getting more. I'm still evolving, but I've come a long way since just buying every flashlight that rolled across the table. And you should too. If you're getting into this hobby, you should absolutely heed that little just take it into consideration, just a little bit. Just think about it. Just think about it. I promise. Just think about it. All right. We went over 20 minutes. Dang it. I can get to going. Oh man. So these videos are, I really didn't think that people were going to like these. And I get so many comments of people saying that they like these videos. So I'm so glad that everybody likes this, because I could talk about flashlights all the time. And I'm trying not to overdo it with just this banter, podcasty stuff. So I'm just doing the once a week. I'm trying to stick to the once a week. Sometimes I get products or work and I forget to do the recording, but I'm making it more standard now. I'm going to try to drop these videos. I'm going to try to record these videos for the week every Sunday, now that I've changed jobs. So, got a little bit better time on my hands for the weekends, which is awesome. So, I'm glad you guys are enjoying these. I'm glad that they're doing well, because I enjoy them a lot. I enjoy just talking about flashlights. So I'm glad you guys like them. It makes me super happy. So I've had nothing but good feedback. So a couple things as we end this video. If you enjoyed the video, of course, do all that normal stuff. But aside from that, drop a comment down below what topics you would like to hear. If I really don't get any people dropping topics, maybe I'll just post up a poll or something. Because I have a lot of stuff wrote down for this series, but, you guys are enjoying it, or the people that definitely are enjoying it. If there's a certain topic that you would like me to touch on, or, just go over, or I don't know, give my advice. Just holler, just, drop a comment. Let me know. I'll take care of it. I'll do my best. I promise. All right, y'all. Let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for stopping by, checking out the video. I appreciate you. You are loved. Thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one.